Today, we are going to analyze the traditional basketball layup and how to teach the basketball layup by using Gentile's taxonomy. The layup in basketball is considered the most basic shot in basketball. It is a two-point shot attempt made by the player dribbling towards the hoop, picking the ball up, and laying the ball into the hoop with one hand by bouncing it off the backboard. Gentile's taxonomy is a classification system that helps explain that every action we carry out is a result of the complex interaction between the person performing the task, and the environment the task is being carried out in. The system uses 3 stages to break down the skill. These stages are cognitive stage, associative stage, and autonomous stage. Gentile's taxonomy consists of 2 general categories called the environmental context and the function of the action. These 2 categories are broken down further into 4 additional categories to make 16 different skill categories. During the first skill category, you're going to practice the initial release of the initial leap into the basket. During the second skill interaction, the player is going to practice that same thing but using a ball 5 times. During 1C, the player is going to practice the entire layup motion from start to finish without a ball. During 1D, the player is going to practice the entire motion of the layup, but using a ball. During 2A, the player is going to practice the final leap towards the basket from 6 different places on the court. Here is me demonstrating how you're going to do that. That's important when training a new player. They need to see what's going on in order to really visualize it and understand it. The player is going to be pretty stationary during this with only that first little leap. During 2B, the player is going to be doing that same motion, but with a ball. Now the player is not going to be focusing so much on making the shot, but getting used to that full motion and muscle memory of shooting with the ball, but instead they're going to focus more on the footwork and completely getting that foundation from the bottom up, focusing on just the footwork, but the complete motion, including the ball, but not yet completely understanding and focusing on the actual shot. During 2C, we're demonstrating that he's going to do that complete thing, the final leap of the layup, with the ball, and after this you're going to have them completely understanding the footwork from the final leap, so now they can move on to focusing on making the shot, bouncing it off the backboard and into the hoop with the footwork of the initial final layup completely done. During 2D, the player is going to move on from the final leap and practice dribbling the full layup motion with the 2 steps, right, left, right, and up, making sure that they understand that when they go up with that knee, that the same elbow and arm comes up like there's a string attached. Now at this point, the player is starting to understand how to do a full layup and has begun to focus on how to make the shot by bouncing the ball off the backboard and using the correct side of the square to do that on the backboard. Now during 3A, the player is going to practice that first leap, but understanding and making sure they know what to do when a defender is in their way. It's more of a game scenario. They're starting to understand their footwork and what to do it, but you got to teach them how to learn how to do it with the pressure on and more of a game scenario type drill. Now on 3B, you're going to focus on them understanding how to do that same thing, that initial leap with the defender. But in this play, the coach or teacher is going to tap them on the arm with the pool noodle or try to hit the ball a little bit to kind of throw them off the gear so they understand what to do during a game scenario with a defender running at them, possibly fouling them so they can get a foul shot and make the layup to get 3 points in total. Now during 3D, the player is going to do the same thing from the 6 different points. The trainer is going to use a pool noodle as well. And they're going to try to make the shot. Now it's important that you have them do it from all 6 areas around the hoop so that during a game scenario, they can be going for a layup at any point. So if they practice it from going at all angles, they won't be flustered and not understand what to do during the game. Now during 3C, the player is going to practice the complete approach with 2 dribbles in front of it before they start with the pool noodle. This might sound easy to do, but that next step in practicing with a dribble is a lot harder than it looks. So with this, if they're shooting on the left side, it's important to tell them to take a right step, left step while picking the ball up, right step, and then shooting it with the left knee in the left shot, vice versa on the right side. During this 4A, the player is going to have to do the same thing with the final leap. But the difference with this is the trainer is going to tell them which side to go, so they won't quite understand which side they're supposed to be on, and so they have to kind of understand it like sporadically. They don't have to plan it out, and it makes it more, they don't have to think about it. It just comes naturally. Now, during 4B, the player is going to do exactly that, where the trainer is going to tell them which spot to go to with that exact final leap in the full progression, but the trainer is also going to tap them lightly, not hit them, with the pool noodle, so that they understand more of a game scenario. You're trying to make each level more and more and more like the final progression in an actual game. Now, during 4C, the player is going to do the full layup with the pointing, and the player is going to lightly tap them, and they're going to try to make the shot. So it's pretty much tied together with the spontaneous different sides that they're going to have to learn, and the taps. Again, like I stated before, that you're just trying to make it more and more differently like a game scenario. If you try to first tell them how to do the layup, and then you try to get them to immediately go into a game scenario with the defender and everything and do it, they're going to struggle a lot. So it's important to slowly increase it step by step using Gentile's taxonomy. Now, in this final progression, we're going to tie it all together. The complete layup motion with the 2 dribbles, and the trainer's going to pick each side to go to. The trainer is going to tap them with the pull noodle on their shooting arm. They're going to go through all 6 spots on the court and try to make the shot. It's completely just like a game scenario. The only difference is it's not a game. So at this point, they know how to do a layup completely like if it's in a game, and they're ready to go. Now, let's put everything we learned together and see what happens if you use Gentile's taxonomy to teach a player how to do a skill. Perfect.